My first request was of our own committee leadership that we have this hearing. And I thank both of you for honoring that request. Congress has a constitutional responsibility to deal with the dollars that will be spent. And I want this committee, as we should do, to treat that in a significant and serious manner. I think a markup would be important, but I would certainly indicate that changes and input from this committee and from Congress are required. One, to make the package better, and two, to make it more amenable toward passage by both the House and the Senate. I was originally and continue to be disappointed that Secretary Mayorkas is not with us, but I'm pleased to know that that is occurring next week. I want the committee and our witnesses in representation of the administration to know that there are many of us who believe our borders are our national security issue as well, that emergency supplemental financial aid should be included, but I also want you to know that we need the administration to work with us on policy changes, the laws and policies at the border, financial support for changes at the border for additional personnel are insufficient, but we need a different approach toward the push and pull of those people around the world who are seeking entry into the United States. I'm interested in seeing a package pass the Congress and be signed into law, but I want to make certain the administration knows that there are many members of Congress who are serious about the issues of national security at our own borders. I want to ask a couple of questions, and I'll submit more in writing, but I'd like an assurance, and maybe this comes from you, Secretary Austin, of a commitment. I want to make certain that as we assist Ukraine, we are assisting Ukraine in a way that allows them to succeed. I don't want this to be just a stalemate. I do not want Ukraine to have the dollars necessary not to lose. I want Ukraine, with our help and others, to have the opportunity, with their capabilities, their own personnel, to win. What would be your response, Secretary Austin?
My response is, Senator, that that's exactly what we're doing. If you go back to the beginning of this effort here, all of us were saying, or many of us were saying, that Ukraine wouldn't survive Russia's onslaught for more than 2 days. So here we are a year later. Not only have they defeated Russia in a number of battles, but they've regained 50% of the territory that Russia initially occupied. And Putin is a strategic failure right now. He's not achieved any strategic objective that he set out to achieve. He never conquered Kyiv. He's been stuck essentially in the same place in terms of, his frontline trace on the battlefield for a long time. Now, I think that based upon where they started and where we are now and what they continue to do, I would say that Ukrainians have made remarkable progress. And our goal is to make sure that they can continue to do that. So we're talking to them every week. I'm talking to my counterpart every week to ascertain what his requirements are, and we're moving with urgency to make sure that we can fill those requirements where possible.
Secretary Austin, tell me, if you would, tell us, how does a failure to fund Ukraine embolden China, embolden Iran, embolden Hamas, embolden Russia? We've had circumstances in our history, including recent history, at least in my view, in which we sent a message to the world that we are not a faithful ally, and to our enemies, to our adversaries, that we are not a threat. Would the failure to fund Ukraine in this circumstance meet that criteria, in which we fail to demonstrate our capabilities, our willingness, our stay-to-itiveness? And what would be the consequences of that message being sent? As you know, there are those who say that we should be focused on someplace else besides Ukraine. But doesn't our failure to focus on Ukraine create huge and significant problems elsewhere in the world with our adversaries and diminish the support of our allies?
I think it sends a horrible message to our adversaries, Senator. I think, our adversaries would like to build a narrative that we are not a trustworthy ally. or a partner, and we see some of that beginning to play out in the media space right now. They are seeking to take advantage of every opportunity, and they would like to prove that the United States is something else other than it is. And we are the world's most reliable ally or partner, and I think it's necessary to demonstrate that we're going to stick by our partners.
Is it more than coincidence that we have so many challenges in this world all occurring now at the same time?
I think a number of things have come together to cause what we're seeing happen, but certainly a failure on our part to follow through with in support of our allies or partners exacerbates some of the things that we're seeing right now. So.
Thank you, sir.